Hello, welcome to this book review for the Folk of the Air series. Cruel Prince will be standing here by Return to the Library. Book 2, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. So I am going to do a book review of what I thought of the book, what was it amazing, what was not, and all of that. So let's get started. Alright, first of all, the Cruel Prince. Okay, let's talk about like how I got into the series. Okay, so I was at the library finding Powerless. I didn't see it in the library, so I picked up The Cruel Prince, and I was like, it's fantasy, and something I should try out and all that stuff. So I picked up the book, and yeah, I think I read a little bit on the first day. I actually read the prologue, and the prologue is really what got me into the series. And the fact that, okay, main character, we got Jude. So Jude's parents were slaughtered by Madoc, who is Fae, and yeah, so he takes Jude, her twin sister Tyron, and her older sister Vivian, or Vivi, she goes by Vivi. So they go to Elfham, and it's this magical realm filled with folk. Alright, so when it comes to the book, it's pretty slow, like getting to know the world and the characters. And one thing about reading this series in general, like to get into the series, you gotta invest some time into it and be patient, have lots of patience because it can be slow at times. So, anyways, but yeah, the early chapters, getting to know the characters. Like Jude was getting into Cardan. Yeah, I was trying to figure out how that was going to play out and all that stuff. And then Jude wanted to be appointed to knighthood, and there was this tournament coming up, and I was surprised how early in the book that it happened. I thought it was going to be saved for the end of the book, but no, it wasn't. But that allowed me to stay at the edge of my seat reading it. And then by chapter 10, Prince Dane, the favorite to be next in line to the Elfham throne, Eldarin. Yeah, Eldarin was the king in the first book. So yeah. If I forget any details, that's okay. I'm just like spitting out everything that I got from The Cruel Prince, Wicked King, and Queen of Nothing. So bear with me. Okay, so by chapter 10, Prince Dane had appointed Jude as his spy, and Jude joins the Court of Shadows, where she meets the Ghost, the Bomb, and the Roach. Those are their code names. Their real names are with Prince Dane. Yes, anyways, I like the Court of Shadows. They are a pretty cool group, and yeah, I get to know them and all that stuff. And following Jude, like, okay, so the folk, like, because Jude and her twin sister Tyron are mortals, so they get bullied a lot. Mainly Jude because she gets herself into things and all that stuff. She's more of that rebellious twin and like all that stuff. So yeah. So yeah. So we have from the folk like that are not human, they are and also they can't lie. The folk cannot lie. Okay, so we got Cardan, who is the main male character. We have Locke, Narcissia. Hopefully, I'm saying that right. Valerian. Those are the main four. Okay, if I forget anyone, please correct me in the comments. But anyways, yeah. And what's so crazy is that, oh my gosh, like Jude literally gets poisoned from this ever apple. Like oh gosh, you just cannot mess with the folk because they are like mischievous, manipulative creatures. Like, oh my gosh. Anyways, this one boy, okay, this one boy, Locke, he liked Jude. You know, they were kind of like, get into it like together, and you know, at first I liked Locke too. Like he wasn't like a jerk. Well, he was because he was part of the group, the main friend group that would love to get mischief. Yeah, Locke loved mischief, but yeah, it was really crazy. But let's see, Valerian wanted nothing to do with Jude. He wanted Jude out of the equation. And what's so shocking in the middle of the book, Valerian. Okay, there's two occasions where Valerian was trying to get Jude completely out of the equation. The first time was whenever she got poisoned, but the second time he literally went to her house and like it went crazy. And Jude managed to like win that, I'll just say, little duel in a little way. And what's so creepy is like she actually did the thing that she never thought she would do. And man, it was just so crazy. And then remember I said like the cruel prince kept me in at the edge of my seat? Yes. So there was a coordination for Prince Dane to become the king, but he gets killed by Maddox. This is like the shocking twist. Oh yeah, Vulcan, the oldest child of King Eldrin. He was never going to be king, and yeah, and pretty much Maddox and Vulcan were like planning this in a way, but Vulcan pretty much like eliminated majority of his family except for Cardan. And Vulcan raised Cardan, and oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But yeah, so after the massacre at the coronation, um, Jude ends up finding Cardan, capturing him, um, and yeah, and the plan is to crown someone else that's not Vulcan, pretty much. And yeah, that's really what's pretty much what happened. So the ending, Cardan becomes the High King of Elfham, and oh wait, key details. Jude makes a bargain that she gets to control Cardan for a year and a day. So yeah, and that's where we get to the second book, The Wicked King. So The Wicked King is my favorite. Is my favorite book. It did pick up the pace more, and wow, I can't believe it. Like I was like reading through this book like crazy, and got to know more of the characters and like more inside the the royal, like the center of the royal power and authority and all. But I want to once again touch on the prologue. It's easier. It's in page 6. On page 6, it's the prologue. So power is much easier to acquire than it is to hold on to. So that is like a running theme in this book, and I made sure I was paying attention to that. And early on in the chapters, someone was going to betray Jude, and it literally said like someone you trust has already betrayed you. I could not trust anyone. The only person that I was like, oh no way, is that person, like, but everyone else was like, man, I think they can really betray Jude and all that stuff. Anyways, yeah. Yeah. So remember Locke? Okay, so Locke, he really liked Jude's twin sister Tyron, and yeah, it was crazy. And the fact that Jude and Tyron are twin sisters, man, they're alike, look alike, and all that stuff. I really hate Tyron because okay, Tyron, like she was going to get married to Locke. Jude, her father Madoc, pretty much everyone was telling her not to marry Locke. It's a bad idea. One of the things that was going on was the wedding. Pretty much. Let me just say, she should have never married Locke. Okay. Yeah. And then, let's see. Yeah. But for some reason, the Undersea was trying to break this oath. So Balkan was at the Tower of Forgotten, and yeah, so pretty much he's been getting messages from the Undersea, and they were going to work together to pretty much dethrone Cardan, like break the oath. Yeah, and then yeah, that's really crazy. And I was just reading through the book of when is this betrayal is going to happen, like all that stuff, right? And then I know I'm just like trying to get the main parts, but I'm like at the same time it's like, my gosh, when it came to the betrayal, oh my gosh, so it was pretty much a setup. So Jude went to the Tower of Forgotten, and it's crazy because it was the ghost who betrayed her, and I was like, what? No way, no way. I least expected the ghost to betray her, and it was just really crazy. And Jude was trapped in the Undersea for like over a month. It was really crazy. She barely survived. But Cardan made a bargain to get her back, but in exchange, the Undersea could like attack like a kingdom, which was like the Unsili territory, and that was really bad. So yeah, and then Balkan was set free. He was the ambassador of the Undersea, and crazy. And it was like really crazy. So towards the end of the book, so the king of the Unsili whatever kingdom, it was like a lower court. So for a Jew to return the favor, pretty much, she needs to like take down Balkan, and she does in a duel, and she actually outsmarts him. So Balkan wanted the Blood Crown, which gives you the title of the High King of Elfham. Okay, and yeah, he got outsmarted and all that stuff, and he got slaughtered. Okay, yeah. And at the end of the book, this is the scene with Cardan and Jude. So Cardan made a bargain with Jude. So she had to lift that control that she had over Cardan, in exchange for them being married or something like that. So yeah, Cardan and Jude got married that night in private. But the crazy thing is about like the Undersea like coming to the surface and like about to declare war or something like that. And oh no, it's because they were going to declare war because Balkan was slaughtered. And Jude was the one who did it, and this was all part of Cardan's plan. So he exiled Jude, and she was the Queen of Elfham now. So yeah, so that's the second book. And then the Queen of Nothing. So at first I was looking at the cover, I was like, I have no idea like what this could be about. Well, I can see the Queen of Nothing, but like I was like, this is not matching the vibes that the Cruel Prince and the Wicked King had. but I understood whenever I was reading it, and the ending of The Wicked King does help. So that explained a lot. So the Queen of Nothing. So Jude had been exiled from Elfham. She could not return. If she tried to step foot of it on Elfham, she would be executed. Yeah. So yeah. So she's living life as a mortal in the mortal world. She is mortal. Anyways, she's living with her sister Vivi, and her younger brother Oak. I don't know why I didn't mention him, because okay, the whole purpose that Jude's in power is to put Oak on the throne when he's old enough. That's why. Okay, yeah, it's a lot. I know I glimpse over a couple of things, but it's okay. I was trying to get the main points. Okay, so yeah, um, yeah, and I guess I'll read the this little prophecy, because Cardan was supposed to be a bad king, so he will be the destruction of the crown and the ruination of the throne. So that was actually the first part of the prophecy. The other half of it was something else I'll get to very soon. I probably won't find the page, but the pacing was up really well, and I like that. We were already getting something, and Jude was like, she had this motive of getting back to Elfham, and whatever is going on and all that stuff. So yeah. So in chapter 3, her assistant Tyron, yeah, the girl I hate, she comes to the moral world, and she is like, I gotta tell you something, Jude. Like, I'm like, whatever. Like, no one wants to hear this. We try to warn you, but you just did what your thing and all. And you thought you could do it and all. And but chapter 4, like, before chapter 4, like, she eliminated Locke. She was like, oh no, I'm just like everyone else in the family. Like, the answer to everything is violence. Like, oh, I thought it was different, but no, I'm not. Anyways, yeah. So pretty much, Tyron wants Jude to pretend to be her and all that. Yeah. How well does that turn out? So Jude does return to Elfham as Tyron, and they're twin sisters, so they look alike. But Cardan, he already knew it was her, but he doesn't really do anything. He's like, oh, I'm glad you're here, by the way. And then crazy thing happens. Maddox, Jude's father, captures her, let's just say, and they go up north to the Court of Teeth. I know, what a name. Anyways, and they meet the Lord and Lady of the Court of Teeth and Queen Sermon, if I'm saying that correctly. And there, Maddox, oh my gosh, how many times Maddox just betrays the good side, pretty much. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Like, oh my gosh, like Maddox took half of Elfham's military up north with him, and yeah. So pretty much in this book, there's a war going on, or preparing for a war, and Judas collected all this information and all that stuff, and da da da, and being a tyrant. Her goal is not to be caught, not as her sister and herself. Anyways, yeah, that doesn't work out. She's like a little too late, and that's like the middle of the book, really. And then, pretty much the Roach and Cardan comes to pretty much rescue her, but Jude was nearly gone completely. Her blood was like spreading everywhere, but like the nature like healed her. I know it's, or the land healed her. That's how it was phrased. Anyways, yeah. And whenever they got back, when Cardan and Cardan had to take the roach because the roach got poisoned. Okay, so and us also Jude's sisters were there. So anyways, so when Jude and her sisters returned to Elfham, they were pretty much like preparing for Madoc and the army to come. And this is where it starts getting downhill a little bit. Okay, I was expecting a war and all that stuff. And this is like the last 100 pages. And I'm like, it's like the chapters, like from chapter, I guess it kind of starts with chapter 20 in a way, but I want to say chapter 22 because that's when like the like when the war is supposed to start at all. But it was not a war. It was like, okay, you do this for me, I do that, switcheroo and all that stuff. It was crazy. But no, Cardan plot twist. Oh, I forgot the plot twist in this book was Cardan literally lifting the exile for Jude. I'll say that was like, that was the twist. But the real kicker is that Cardan broke the blood crown, which you see there, and he turns into this serpent. I'm like, what the world? Huh? Like, seriously, he dies in front of everyone, and like, this is so crazy. I'm like, yeah. So they had to find a way to like, yeah. And Jude is wondering if there has to be another way and all that stuff. And I'm going to read it if I can find it. I really want to find it because I know it's here. Oh my gosh, like it's like you can't really trust anyone in this book. Like I know I couldn't. Like, like, oh man, nope. Like it is literally in here. Trust me. Where is it? But it's the second part of the prophecy. So the first part of the prophecy is he will be the destruction of the crown and the reunion nation of the throne. And here we go. No, I was wrong. I'm so sorry. But I know it's here. It has to be here. No way. You gotta be kidding. Oh. Yeah. Okay, here's the second part of the prophecy, I think. Yes, it is. So, only out of his spilled blood can a great ruler rise. So, let me explain this. So, the final confrontation was supposed to be like the final part of the battle and all that stuff. Jude slays the head of the serpent, which is Cardan. But at the end of chapter 26, oh my gosh! Cardan! He was alive! It was so crazy. And then at the very end of the book, like, Jude is officially crowned Queen of Elfham. So amazing. And in the epilogue, they actually go through the criminals in the book. So let me do that really quick. Like, whew. Let's see, who was the first one? I think the first one was that yeah. This is so awful. Come on. Oh, here we go. What the world? Who is this person? It was someone. I think it was that What? It's someone. Whoever it was, whoever the first person was. Yeah, it wasn't that great. It wasn't that great. But the second one, I remembered the second one. It was Lady Noor. So pretty much her punishment was that she can be punished anyway by Queen Surin. No, Surin is no longer queen. That was that part of the deal. And yeah, and pretty much yeah, Lady Noor is punished, and then Maddox, he is sent to the mortal world forever, and he cannot touch another weapon. That is pretty much that book. And I know I skimmed through plenty of details. I'm like that I completely forgot about, but it's okay. I got the main points from each book. I know except for the first, but it's okay. But if I can rate this out of 5 stars, so The Cruel Prince, I would rank 3.5 stars. Like the main reason was the beginning was pretty slow and yeah, it wasn't until like the middle of the book that I really like got hyped and like, oh yeah, it's really great. The Wicked King, I give it 5 stars because this was not only my favorite book, but like everything was just so right. And I was really into the book and like all that stuff. The Queen of Nothing, I will give 4 stars. I was really getting into it. The pacing was really great and all that stuff. It was just the last 100 pages that really got me. And then I was like, there was no war. It was like a bargain after bargain after bargain. I just felt like it was a little let down because I was expecting a war. And it even says right here, I'm finding it. It says war. It says war. Where's the war? Where's the war? Where's the war? There's a war in here. I know it's on in this here. Oh my gosh. Da, 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 da. I guess I was misinformed. Wow. I guess I was misinformed about there being a war. So, that is my review of the Folk of the Air series, The Cruel Prince, which is absent, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. I hate this.